We got that. Polypay, yeah, we got that.
So I don't like. So I don't need your bank account. I just need your telephone number to be registered to your bank account.
Yeah.
So I just use your number, your mobile number. So he created an app.
Right?
Yeah. So he created an app exactly like that for Africa. So people could send money back to Africa through telephone numbers.
There's a lot of youngsters that are good with computers, that spend all day making apps, and a lot of them just never become worth anything. But all it takes is for them to make one app that a company wants to buy, like Google or someone like that, and they make a fortune. There's quite a few kids in England that have made quite a big amount of money. Maybe not millions, but a decent lump of money when they're like 16 years old, just making apps all day. And all of a sudden, one of them just pays off, and they get Google will give them like 100 grand for it or whatever. But when you're 15 or 16, you get 100 grand for an app, and then they just keep making more and more.
So it's called. So his transfer app. Okay, let me type in the book.
I feel like amidst the app generation, I feel like most of us here are kind of a little bit, just slightly just missed it. Like kids who are like 15, 16 now, they're like in the peak of making apps. So they're killing it. Like all the kids are having a mad time making apps right now, like, and that's the best thing. Little kids in fucking India or Turkey or fucking Armenia, what the fuck ever, like some broke ass kid at his parents' house is just sitting on his computer. Like, it makes his family some fuck. It's just crazy. Like, the ways you can make money now, it's just crazy.
On the other side though, they're sitting there making apps, and we were actually outside doing some shit, and they're just sat in their house doing fuck all. So
I'm telling you, like this guy, he raised a total of 140 million because of this app, and like I'm like, what the fuck?
Do you know what pisses me off though? Do you know what pisses me off of that? We can, like, people can raise 140 million quick for an app, yeah? You try and start raising money for like a charity or some people dying, yeah? You won't raise anywhere near that much money. And people raise money like that for apps overnight.
But then, do you know, like, what's even more stupid is that it started in 2014 and it's so fucking successful. Fair enough, it's Africa and Africa is a continent. And it needed this. It truly did need this. It needed an easy way to send money back home. But it's the fact that how, imagine one app, one Bitcoin, you're just like so close to being a millionaire. You're so fucking close. And they're trying to stop you from doing this. Because like, had they told me that apps were going to be successful, I wouldn't have fucking studied health. I would have became an app developer.
On the point of charities too, Dre, I agree with what you're saying, and to an extent. There's fucking some kid raises $114 million for an app that fucking makes your shoes tie together by themselves. But
I don't mean it's a bad thing. What I mean is, let's say you made a page today just saying you wanted to raise money for some sick kids in Australia or whatever. You wouldn't raise that kind of money. You wouldn't do it in 5 years, probably.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing, though, man. I used to be mad pissed off with that shit too. But it's just fucking human nature. You know what I mean? I'm willing to give. Let me say one thing. If I'm walking down the street and I see a homeless guy, I'm more inclined to give him $1. If I see a TV of a screen telling me if you put $1 in this machine, it's going to help this homeless guy, I'm way less inclined. And that's because most people who are understanding enough know exactly what you said. It's owned by the big corporations. You don't feel like you're doing shit. When you want to help your fellow man, you want to help your fellow man. I don't know what the fuck this dollar is doing. For all I know, it's making some big corporate fat cat getting a cup of coffee. But I'll tell you what, blockchain will do more for charities than companies ever will today. I fucking promise you that.
I don't give money to like big name charities ever. I give money to like charities where I can see them spending my money. Like, there's a few charities I give money to, not every month. Like, it's not like a monthly basis thing. It's like I give what money I want to give when I want to give it. A lot of them are based in the Middle East.
Respect you to that, because
I can watch if I spend it. Like, the guy's got a Facebook page. This one guy I give a lot of money to. He's from London originally, but he's been living in Syria for a long time, and he's just built a big camp out there for like people that lost their homes. But he puts Facebook live videos up all the time, and I can see him physically spending my money, giving little children and people no homes food every day. Like, I can see that. Like, so I don't mind like charity.
You find a charity that fucking works, but that sounds like something that fucking works and makes a change if it's fucking worse. So fuck yeah, man. That's something good.
Big charities, they pay themselves a big wage. Like, we have one here called Help the Heroes for soldiers, and the guy that owns that, I think somewhere said that he makes, his salary is $500,000 a year. So before he even gives any of the money he raises to charity, he takes $500,000 to pay himself. Then he's got to pay his workers, like phone call people, which is fine. They need to get paid. But then after all that money's gone, imagine how much money is getting sent to to soldiers and stuff, or any of these big cancer research ones. All this shit. I don't mess around.
Right, you're exactly right, but that's the exact same reason why people are more inclined to invest into an app that'll make them rich before they'll pay to a charity that'll help someone else, and that's because they don't believe in it. And the regular person walking down the street who gets harassed by the guy with a bucket, they're like, "Yo, chuck some money in this bucket." That person is a consumer of the middle class, you know what I mean? They're just middle class consumer type. They're fucking broke. And I'm not trying to be rude, but most people in the consumer class aren't very self-aware of them being a middle class consumer. So they're more likely to put into the charity box, you know what I mean? Whereas a rich fat cat who has more money than that consumer, has a lot more money to donate, is unfortunately or unfortunately too smart to put money in that fucking bucket. And that's why charities go nowhere. Some charities go somewhere if you know about them, you know what I mean? Like, you know, cancer foundations or shit like that. That's good shit. Or fucking women's breast cancer or stuff. That's shit that actually works down. Or November, or that stuff. That's good shit, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, then, like I said, the cancer ones, the concept of it is good, but the problem is the people that run these campaigns pay themselves so much money from the donations before they start giving the money into the research. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
That's what I don't like about it. That's why I don't like when all these ones you see on TV. And you know what I hate about it as well? They exploit poor people to make money because they'll put pictures of dying children on my TV. So I give them £3 a month and they probably take £2.50 and only send 50p to the dying child. Like, I don't fuck with people like that. They're exploiting dying children mainly for their own gain. That's the problem. That's why I only deal with these small charities. Like, there's another guy in England that he does different stuff. Like, he goes to different places all over the year. So what he'll do is he'll say, I'm going to go to wherever. Let's say wherever there's something going on, like India. He goes all over the world. So he'll find a cause for that month, and then he'll say, I'm going to raise as much money as I can before I go. He'll buy his own plane ticket, fly there, and use that money to help them people in the place that he's going to. Like, charities like that, I can...
That's fucking amazing. Good on him. Fuck yeah.
But they're the kind of people that I'll give my money to because I know that he's going to go and spend it. I'm not just going to give it to some TV program that said, give me £3 a month and I'm going to... Because if them things really worked, yeah, there'll be less people starving in Africa and that now because they've been around for so long and, like, you know what I mean? The problems never seem to go away.
Do you know what happened to me? Like, in such a stupid fucking way, and I got pissed off. Me being me, I got stopped. You know, like when you're outside on the street and those charity people try to stop you, trying to sign you up to shit because they get their commission from the amount of people that they sign up. So me being me, I was just like, oh, it's Christmas, why not? I'm thinking like I'm donating £1 a month, right? So this went on for a year. I signed up to this blind charity. I think it was blind and deaf people charity. No, it wasn't. I take it back. It wasn't even blind and deaf charity. It was people with learning disabilities. People with frigging learning disabilities I signed up to. I didn't mind to give £1 a month. After a whole year, I realized that they were taking £8 a month. They charged me £8 every month for this charity in the UK for people with learning disabilities when it cost me 50p a month to pay for a child in Africa or £1 to adopt a lion in Mozambique somewhere. And it's costing me £8 a month in England.
And you never get to beat the lion.
Do you think that they were sending me pictures of these people with learning disabilities that my £8 was helping out a month that I did for 12 months? 300? No, seriously, like it wasn't 365 days.
That's why I don't give money to charities like that. Don't give them money. If you want to give money to charity, go and look for like a personal charity that someone's going back.
No, I was hurt. You guys don't understand. I'm like, how is it cheaper to fund people from overseas and then in my frigging backyard, I'm forking out £8? And I have a learning disability myself. So am I getting this money?
You ain't getting shit.
No, seriously, what? No, Dread, because you're from over here. What fucking charity is £8 a month?
This is what I was just saying, because the people that run these charities, they pay themselves a massive wage. a huge way, £250,000, £500,000 a year before they spend the money. So that's why it's £8 a month, because they keep £7 and then they give £1 to the organisation. And what the fuck is £1 going to do to help them?
There was a time
like 100,000 donations, so you have 100,000 people, it's $100,000. That's enough for the year for a charity, I guess.
There was a time where I left a job, and then I learned through the biggest lesson in life: never leave a job until you have another job ready to move to. Don't ever quit a job. Make sure you have a job, so when you're leaving, you start somewhere. But no. So I was out of a job. I think I was out of a job for like 3 months. So now I was like, dude, I'm not used to this. So I started doing door-to-door sales. I was like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I was just like, let me just do this shit. It's easy, sign up, cool. And I was like, I think I had to like sell people smart meters. You know, the smart meters that they have. So I had to like knock on people's door. And every time I said smart meters, they would make me read their meter. They thought I was the meter reader, which made no sense. So they would let me in their house, because this is how dumb people are. They just think if you knock on the door and you say meter, they just let you walk through their house and look at their boiler.
So did you just start robbing houses?
No, I didn't rob houses, but I really liked the job. The commission was good. It was such a good corporal thing, because I can like climb up the ladder really quickly. So progression was a key point in this job. It was freaking great. But the thing to why I couldn't perform in my job, right? A lot of it was manipulation and conning people, especially elderly people, especially old people, especially single mothers. It's getting them to think that I was giving them something better than what they originally had. It was working brain on them, and I was just like, I'm good at selling things, but I don't like manipulating people. Like, my heart isn't there, so I couldn't honestly do this job. And I feel like the perks for this job was the amount of times that I would knock on doors and naked guys would let me into their house and make me a cup of tea while they were naked and let me read them the pamphlet of a smart meter. Door-to-door stuff, and you see some shit. Yes, they would. Dude, do door-to-door work, yeah? And trust me, naked people open the door. Like, I was there with my co-worker when I was first shadowing, and this naked female opened the door, and she was like, just come in, I'm getting dressed. Sit. You want tea? And we were just like, yes, fully naked. Yes. You go and do a door-to-door job. You're going to understand what I'm saying. Like, 100% you're going to understand. Dude, people don't care. Do you think people care anymore? They don't care. And the thing is, like, some of these people, when you knock on their door, they're really hot. Like, they are so fucking hot. I'm telling you, that was the perk to the job, that you get like a lot of numbers because they're really fucking hot. But besides the point, I just could not. Like, there was this old woman. Do you know what was my breaking point, Dread? And I had to pass my shadowing, because like you have to do a trial run to where they let you out on the field. So there was this old woman, right? And, you know, telling her about the smart meter, she was like, yes, do it for me. She was like, I'll sign up. Or had her bank card. And I was like, nah, bro, you don't understand. Like, you don't understand what I'm saying. You really don't. You really don't. And I feel bad. I feel like I'm going to hell. If I sign up.
I literally just said that. I was like, you're going to Jahannam. Like, you're going to hell for this. You've been conning people out of their money. You can't do that.
Yeah, the job is conning them. So basically, I left. I just walked up to the manager one day and I was like, I can't do this job. Sorry. All I kept picturing was hellfire. I just kept picturing hell. I'm like, I'm going to hell because I'm conning poor people, not even rich people, poor people.
Yeah, that's good. That's good that you quit.
But the thing is, the job, yeah. So you get $1,000. Like, you get $1,000 a month, right? And commission would be like $150 per person. So that was really good. But I just couldn't con people.
You know what? It depends, I suppose, in life. Like, some people just want to make money, and some people actually have like morals. So that's the difference.
And then I ended up finding. Go on, Russian.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I used to work for Virgin Wines, the Richard Branson company, and I was selling it to like old people and be like, hey, we got this really good wine. And it's just wine that's been sitting in the fucking cupboard for like 4 years, and try and resell it as like old vintage stock or whatever. It's like people in their 60s and 70s on their pension and shit. And they even had like a guy sitting next to me, and like he'd try to get commission sales. It could be a dude, like a lady trying to cancel a subscription because her husband died, and he tried to offer the bottle for the wake, like for the funeral. Like, oh, we could sell you a bottle for the funeral if you like. What the fuck?
Wow, that's some fuck shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's fucked up. I know what you mean. It's like ripping off people for a living.
I saw my partner, right? Because, like I was saying in the beginning, I have someone that I have to shadow. So I saw my partner in the field, right? He fucking signed up a woman that could not speak English. They target people that don't speak English. They signed them up. And then the person that doesn't speak English don't understand what they're doing because they think they're the boiler people. Because they think they're friggin' British gas or the boiler people, they're like, yeah, go on, it's okay. And I was like,
wait, Dino, wait, you worked for a job that was conning people and you actually stopped working there because you felt bad?
Yeah.
That's respectful as fuck. I that's respectful. That's nice. At least you did. I couldn't con old people either. I couldn't con old people.
No, Dirk, they targeted old people. They targeted people that couldn't speak English. They targeted single mothers. Every day I felt like I was going to hell. When I was going to work, I'm like, I'm getting closer to hell. One day at a time.
You could feel the fire.
Dude, and I'm not the most religious person, I tell you this, but you know what? I believe in karma. I honestly believe in karma. And one day when I'm really happy and I get what I want, I feel like karma's going to get me like, haha, bitch, you thought I wasn't going to come for you.
When you old,
bad boy. What you going to do when they come for you?
When you're old, you're going to get conned into buying something you don't need.
That's what I'm saying. So I had to just be like, I don't need to do this. And I'm telling you, like, the guy, like, he was Indian. And I was like, how are you writing her details down? She didn't consent to this. This is fraud. This is fraud. This is a criminal offense. And he was like, well, when they hit her with a bill, she can just sign up. She can just sign out of it. I'm like, how are you setting people up to go to court and have bailiffs at their house? Like, you're fucked up. You're fucked up.
Some people just care about money. They don't have the morals now.
Do you know what? Like those, the Indian guys, they're funny. When they have the when you're in London and they try to sell you the Leica card. They're like, do you want to buy a Leica? I'm like, no. Are you gonna give it to me for free? And they're like, do you want to buy a Leica? And I stand there going back and forth. I'm like, are you gonna give it to me for free? And they're like, no. And they're like, do you want to buy it? And I'm like, are you gonna give it to me for free? I'm charity myself. I'm charity. I'm broke.
The Indians are clever though, like a lot of them are clever as fuck.
No, but you know what? People knock them, right? And I always say this, right? They are very smart. You see with them, they're collectives. They realize teamwork makes the dream work. Seriously, teamwork makes the dream work for them. Like they build so quick. Like especially all of the properties, like all of the property agents over here. Especially retailer. I can't pronounce the word for some reason. Not retail. Retailer? I can't pronounce it. Guys, I'm dumb.
Retailers.
Yeah, retailers are the property people, aren't they?
Retailers, yeah. Are you on about yeah, no, you got
Come on, realtors? Yeah, thank you. Now you feel how I feel, like you get tongue-tied with it. Isn't retailers an American thing? Because we say property agents.
Estate agents, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, estate agents, thank you. I've been in this American room for so long that I'm starting to say their words and I can't say their words because it hurts my tongue.
Yeah, 1 second, Ant, we're talking about like Indians from India, not like Native Americans. Even though technically Americans, but...
Have you realised, like, all of them over here are estate
What's up to you?
Friggin' estate.
Morning, Dred. Morning, Anne. Morning, Dino. Morning, Matriarch.
Dirt. That's what I'm saying.
Like, don't know how to answer their snaps or their phone.
Wait, Russian, you pissed her off, man.
What's up, Chocolita?
Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking delete it all. What's the use of having you on there if you don't answer or reply? Like,
I'm not good at that Snapchat shit. I told everyone.
Alright. Well, I don't know why you asked for it then if you don't know about it.
Do you know what I want to know, Dread, is...
Why say my name like that?
Dread.
Hey, Ian.
Yeah, go on. What do you want to know?
How did I say it? I said Dread.
You was like, I want to know Dread. Like, you probably said it like angry, but anyway, go on. What do you want to
know? No, because I was angry thinking about something, right? I want to know, right? Because, like, we're doing the whole Brexit thing, right? And Brexit is moving. Does that mean all of the people that own properties in Westminster and Chelsea and Sloane Square get kicked out? Or do they still have their properties?
What do you mean? Why would they get kicked out?
Because they're doing the whole Brexit thing. Like, how? Like, since we're not a part of Europe, how can you be a homeowner?
No, we're still part of Europe. We're not part of the EU. There's a difference. You can't move your continent.
No. Okay. When I say Europe, I'm thinking about the EU in general, not like Europe, the continent, but EU.
European
unions. When I say Europe, the European unions. So if the Brexit, so if Brexit happens, right?
It is going to happen. Yeah, it's in change. Yeah.
Okay, so those that have got properties because of the EU, can they still keep their properties? Yes or no?
I don't know what you mean by people that have got properties because of the EU. Do you mean immigrants?
They're not immigrants, they're migrants. But they don't live here. That's the thing. They bought properties because of the EU laws.
Oh, you mean
and
like
they left.
You mean like the Russians that come over and buy properties?
Russia's not in Europe.
Yeah, no, I don't
think they bought a house through a European real estate.
I don't think.
Yeah.
If they bought the property of money, like the Russians that own like a lot of the properties in the rich parts of London, I don't think that'll matter because they bought them properties with actual money. Like they haven't like been given them; they paid for them, so they're going to be theirs.
Fair enough, I understand, but I'm talking about one of the things that they're doing with the Brexit is they're going to call back the passports because the passports are being changed to blue, so they're not going to be red no more. So the titles are changing. Our documental papers are changing from what we know. So I'm thinking in terms of documents and paper, what about like property owners, European property owners? How does that change?
Well, I'm guessing, I don't know because they haven't implemented what will happen yet, but I would assume that if they own the property because they paid for it outright, then they can't take the property from them. All it will change is that right now they can freely move from that property back to their home country without a visa. So all it'll mean is every time they want to travel back to England, they'll have to apply for a visa to come back. And I would assume that if they can't get one, they'd have to sell the property.
Don't you gotta go back to your state every 2 or 3 years when you got a visa? Like, because my homeboy that works at this store, he had to go back to wherever he's from because his visa ran out or something. He had to go back for like 2 years.
No, you have to go back to your country to renew it. You have to go back home to renew it. Just like your passport, you have to go back home to renew your passport as well. But in regards, so I'm going to formulate myself there. What I'm basically saying, right, is in the sense of taxes and properties, you like a lot of these like homeowners, right, what they got taxed for, they will because they were part of the European Union and they were members to our country, they kind of got a discount, so they didn't really get charged as what they should get charged because now they're seen as foreign, they're seen as overseas, they're not a part of us anymore. So therefore, won't the laws and regulations and price plan kind of change for them? Like, so what they're paying for their mortgage now isn't what they will be paying after Brexit.
If I'm honest, I'm not quite sure how they'll implement that. If I'm honest, I don't really know how they'll. Yeah, if they've still got a mortgage on the property, I don't know how that will differ once we leave the EU. I don't think they can't just say you can't have the property anymore. And if they did, they would have to pay them back everything they've invested in the property.
Because because a lot of like, what was it like? I feel like a lot of the things over here, I think I remember when I was working in housing, you can only get a council property if you was a British citizen or you was part of the EU. So I'm thinking about those that have bought their council properties as well. Not so much the rich people down Westminster as well. I'm just thinking about people that have just bought properties in Europe, in England, that have ties because of their UE membership. And because the membership's running out, you still have ties over here. Are you still going to get child tax credit? Are you still getting housing benefit? Are you still getting this? Are you still getting that? What
I think
the
ones that live here, the ones that live...
sign up for that subscription?
No, unfortunately not, mate. I think the ones that live in here, in them properties, I guess they'll apply... They're probably already applying for citizenship, so they don't have to leave when it changes, I guess. It's so confusing that it's going to take so long for it to be fully...
That's what I'm saying.
So much stuff.
It doesn't... Yeah, it honestly doesn't make sense. Like, are you going to be charging people that are from European countries educational fees because you was paying for their education because you was part of the UE? I'm telling you, like, when you think about it, everything's so fucked because you don't know the regulations. Like, so much is changing. You're just like, what is changing? Like, okay, so are we going to get more time in the GPs? Do we get more of a budget on the NHS now that you're kicking them out, basically?
No chance.
No, because like we had like, do you get what I mean? Like,
oh no, I understand. All the spare money left over will just go in the back pockets of the people that already control it.
I'm telling you, it's really confusing.
Because I said this before, because you know what, like, you know, you hear a lot of people here say like, oh, all these immigrants or migrants are here or refugees are here and they don't work, even though most of them actually do work. But everyone's like, they don't work and they get free money. And I'm always like, do you think even if we got rid of them all, the government wouldn't lower our taxes? You wouldn't pay less for anything. All it would mean is the government would have more money to do with whatever they want to do. They're not going to lower your taxes. They gain money.
A lot of the migrants, no, not migrants, immigrants. So if it was immigrants, right, that had came over, not migrants, they would be entitled to housing benefits and allowances, income allowances. So they'll be entitled to welfare. Government will assist, and they'll be entitled to the same amount that UK citizens get. I feel like that's what pissed off a lot of people because it was like, you have the same entitlements as me, even though you're not British. That's what pissed off a lot of people. Because they still had free medical care, they still had free education, they had free housing. And then, what else was it? Yeah, child tax credit. They actually got a lot of free shit, being honest, when you look at it. It was but all of those people that actually got all the free stuff, what's going to happen to them? Because you've been giving it to them for years, and now you're going to turn around and be like, we're closing our doors, leave. You can't do that. That's unfair.
If they're already if they're living here and they're not traveling from here back, I think if they're living here and they're not traveling like backwards and forwards from here to their home country constantly, if they're like living here, I'm sure before all of this is actually implemented, they will have citizenship. And they will then be citizens and they're entitled to the same benefits that they already were getting.
Do they get automatic citizenship or do they have to like do the whole British questionnaire?
I would assume they have to apply for it like everybody else, yeah. But I mean, they're going to have enough time. Like they're going to have enough time from now till when they finish sorting this out, which is probably going to take 5 years or something ridiculous.
No, Brexit, like Brexit's happening next year. Like we're out next year, 100%. 2018, we're out.
Yeah, but I mean, even if we're out, what I mean is they won't have figured out everything by then. They won't have figured out what they're going to do.
They have. Some of the things they've already figured out. That's why they haven't told the public, but they figured it out. They changed a lot of the aviation policies, so a lot of them changed. Because like they were European.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff we're governed by is European law.
Yeah. So does that mean
that's what whenever we come, you're not going to wake up one day like when every law's going to change.